It started on our wedding night with something I ignored. I noticed my wife tied a red scarf before serving me food. I thought nothing of it. I was still excited, still overwhelmed by the fact that I had married such a beautiful woman. The next day, it happened again. Before placing the food in front of me, she quickly tied the red scarf around her head. I said nothing. I assumed it was just a coincidence. But the night after that, it happened again. This time, I watched her closely. Every time she served me food, she lowered her voice and whispered something I couldn't hear. She wouldn't remove it until I had taken my first bite. The room always felt quieter afterward. Yet when she ate her own food, she never tied it. For reasons I couldn't explain, that unsettled me. One evening, I decided to ask. "Why the scarf?" I said lightly, forcing a smile. She looked surprised, almost as if she was hearing the question for the first time. "Oh, the scarf?" She laughed softly. "It's nothing. I didn't even notice I was wearing it." Deep down, I knew she was hiding something. She made a joke immediately, brushing it off so quickly that I laughed too. And just like that, the moment passed. After that, I stopped paying attention, until one night. We were talking in the kitchen as she dished the food. Suddenly, she froze. Then she rushed out of the kitchen. "Honey, what is it?" I asked, confused. She smiled at me but said nothing. I assumed she had forgotten something. So I carried the plate to the table and began to eat, without waiting for her. Then she ran back in. She was holding the red scarf. The moment she saw me eating, her expression changed instantly. Without a word, she turned and rushed outside. I stood up slowly, my stomach tightening, and followed. As I reached the door, I heard whispers outside, as if she was talking to someone and using my name. I froze where I stood. I couldn't make out the words clearly. Only my name, spoken softly, more than once. Then everything went quiet, as if she wasn't there anymore. I waited. Seconds passed. Then more silence. Slowly, I opened the door. As I stepped outside, she was already turning back toward the house, her face calm, as if nothing had happened. "Oh, honey," she said with a smile. "Aren't you eating?" I stared at her. "Why did you rush out here?" She laughed lightly. "I just needed some fresh air." "Fresh air?" I asked, uneasy. She tilted her head. "Are you doubting me?" Before I could reply, a neighbor walking past suddenly stopped. He looked from me to my wife, confused. "When did you get back?" he asked my wife. "I thought I saw you earlier, walking near the cemetery." My stomach tightened. "That's not possible," I said quickly. "She has been here." My wife said nothing. She looked away. The neighbor laughed nervously. "Must have been someone who looks like her." Then he walked on. My wife still didn't speak. As we got inside, she suddenly became lively again, laughing, playful. The tension faded so quickly it felt unreal. As I sat down to continue eating, she stopped me. "Wait," she said gently. She leaned in, smiling, and wiped my face with the red scarf. "Your face is oily," she said softly. I smiled and thanked her, not thinking twice about it. She took the scarf into the bedroom and didn't come out until I was done eating. That night, I lay awake, replaying the moment over and over. The way she rushed outside, the way she avoided my eyes, and the red scarf. By morning, the answer still hadn't come. As she tied it again before serving breakfast, I finally asked, "Honey, why is it always that scarf before I eat?" She paused for just a second. Then she smiled. "You worry too much," she said lightly. "It's nothing, just something I like to do." And just like that, the conversation was over. That was when I knew she wasn't going to tell me the truth. And if I wanted answers, I would have to find them myself. I didn't say anything more. On my way home from work that evening, I stopped and bought a red scarf, one that looked exactly like hers. I planned to replace it quietly, but the moment I walked into the house, she looked at me and began to laugh. I bought another red scarf, not to show her, but to quietly replace the one she always tied before serving me food. I wanted to see what would happen. The scarf was still hidden inside the shopping bag when my wife looked at me and laughed. The sound made me uneasy. "Why are you laughing?" I asked. She smiled. "That shopping bag reminded me of something funny I saw on TV." I nodded. Her eyes stayed on the bag. "What's inside?" she asked. I forced a smile. "Just a package I need to deliver." She studied my face for a moment, then said, "All right." That evening, I couldn't find a chance to swap the scarf, so she did what she always did. She tied the red scarf and served the food. This time, I refused to eat. "Honey, come and eat," she said gently. I shook my head. I gave excuses, one after another. She tried again and again. Eventually, she stopped asking. She didn't look happy. The next day at work, something unusual happened. My colleagues kept complimenting me. "You look different," one said. "You look good," another added. I didn't understand it. I rushed through my work and left early. I made sure my wife wasn't home. I searched quickly. I found the red scarf. I swapped it. That evening, I sat at the dining table and waited. I watched her move in and out of the room. She went in, came out, went back in again. Each time, she looked at me. She said nothing. I pretended not to notice. "Now the truth will come out," I told myself. Minutes later, she came out of the room. There was no red scarf on her head. She walked straight into the kitchen and served the food. Then we ate together. For the first time, no red scarf. She acted normal. Relief washed over me. Maybe the scarf meant nothing after all. That night, I went to bed calm. Then, exactly at midnight, a heavy tap landed on my shoulder. I woke up sharply and reached for the lamp. "Don't bother turning on the light," she said. My hand froze. "Where is my scarf?" she asked. Her voice was different, cold, firm. It's in the boot of the car," I stammered. She reached for the switch and turned on the light. Her face was serious, calm, unblinking. "If you want peace," she said, "never touch that scarf again. That scarf is my identity." She paused. "Bring it." She stared at me. I couldn't look back. I couldn't say no. Something in me just obeyed. I rushed outside, opened the car, grabbed the scarf, my hands shaking. She collected the scarf without a word and walked inside. I remained in the sitting room. I didn't sleep. By morning, it felt like something had lifted. Clarity came slowly. I kept replaying the night before. I shook my head. This couldn't be real. She came into the sitting room smiling, as though nothing had happened. "Honey," she said softly, "what would you like for breakfast?" I looked at her. "You need to leave," I said. "Now." She only looked at me for a long moment, then turned and went inside. She took her things. Before leaving, she spent some time in the kitchen. When she was finally ready to go, she paused at the front door without turning back. "No one eats my cake and walks away," she said calmly. Then she left. Days passed. She never called, she never texted, and slowly, I told myself it was over. One evening, I invited a friend over. The moment she stepped into my kitchen, she froze, then rushed out. Another friend came another day. Same reaction, then another. Each one left without explanation. Some never called me again. That was when fear returned. Someone told me I should go see my wife's parents. After 2 weeks of hesitation, I finally did. They welcomed me warmly, as if they already knew why I had come. I tried to speak, but my mother-in-law raised her hand. "Not yet," she said. "When a son-in-law comes unexpectedly, especially over his wife, he must first eat what his wife serves." My chest tightened. Footsteps came from inside. My wife stepped out. She looked radiant, calm, untouched. The red scarf was tied on her head. She walked toward me with food. "I'm not eating," I said quickly. "If that's the condition, I'm leaving." They watched silently as I stood up. I reached the door. Then I heard her voice behind me. "There's only one way." I froze. Her parents were watching me closely, as if I had no choice but to sit back down and eat the food she had served. As I walked away that day, doubt followed me like a shadow. Maybe I should have eaten. Maybe the red scarf was part of her culture. But one question refused to leave my mind. Why was it always the same scarf when she owned so many? I had no answers, only the feeling that the truth was waiting somewhere ahead. I didn't call. I didn't go back. Weeks passed. At first, the silence felt like freedom. Then it grew heavy. One evening, I caught myself staring at the empty chair across the table, the one she used to sit on. My chest tightened. Tears surprised me. I missed her, and worse, I still loved her. Should I call her? Could I keep living with that red scarf being part of our lives? Then there was a knock at the door. I wasn't expecting anyone. I hesitated, then opened the door slowly. My heart skipped. It was my wife. "We need to talk," she said calmly. I stood there, silent, as she stepped inside. "I'm ready to tell you the truth," she continued. "About the red scarf, about everything. We can't keep going like this." I took a deep breath. "Go on," I said. She lowered her eyes. "The scarf wasn't decoration," she said quietly. "My mother gave it to me. She believed it helped keep a husband focused in marriage, that it would stop cheating." Her words left me speechless. "She told me it was something I had to do for 1 full year," my wife continued. "She said others had done it, and it worked." She paused, then spoke again, her voice softer. "I followed every instruction my mom gave, even the night the neighbor saw me outside. I was doing what she told me to do. I didn't really believe in it, but she kept assuring me it would help." We sat in silence for a long moment. "I missed us," she finally said. "That's why I came today." I looked at her, still unsure. Before I could say anything else, a heavy knock sounded at the door. I stood up and opened it. It was her mother. For a long moment, no one spoke. Then she stepped inside. My wife cleared her throat and spoke, calm but firm. "Mom, I don't want the red scarf anymore. I don't want to keep living like this. Love should flow freely, not be forced." Her mother looked at her for a long time. Then she sighed. "I didn't want you to lose your home the way I lost mine," she said quietly. 3 months into my marriage, everything fell apart. I thought this would help you. I thought it would protect your home." My wife shook her head slowly. "It didn't," she said. "It only took my peace and made things worse." The room fell silent. "If this is your choice," her mother finally said, "then I won't stand in your way anymore." There was no shouting, no anger, just acceptance. That night I spoke to her mother gently. "You need to let go of those ways," I said, "and seek the right path. Those things don't last." She nodded slowly. "You're right," she whispered. That night, we undid everything. My wife opened up about all the things she had done, even in the kitchen, things that had made my friends uncomfortable and afraid. We chose prayer. The journey back wasn't easy. Healing took time. But slowly, peace returned. My wife stopped depending on anything else. Her mother chose a better path. And our home began to feel light again. Love returned. Joy returned. No more red scarf. We ate together in peace. The end.